guys, welcome to another how-to video on Fougere Family Adventures. If you're new to our YouTube channel, please make sure you subscribe on the bottom there. Make sure you hit the little bell to get our latest and greatest videos that we got coming out here this year, next year, and going forward. Today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about downrigging and changing your terminal tackle on your downrigger parts. Now, I've got two setups here. This little downrigger ball here, this is what I normally use on my Scotty Lake Troll. It's got a shorter cable. It's got a Scotty release clip on here. I love these clips, they're great. These clips have a quick little tension on them here. You can adjust the tension of the clip. But what I want to talk about today is something that I actually had to do already this year, and I haven't done much of it. I don't have a ton of experience doing it. And I couldn't find a whole lot on the internet about how to change any terminal tackle you have. So for this video, you can see this downrigger cable here on my 10-pound ball. I use this, believe it or not, I use it for kokanee fishing. It's a little extreme, actually it's quite extreme. 3-pound ball will do just fine. I'm gonna have a ball right in between the 3 and the 10 somewhere. I'll find a happy medium and I'll start using that one day. But I did buy the bigger balls for my new Scotty 1085s that I got last year. They're great. And I wanted the bigger balls so I can learn how to double stack my rods. So, without further ado, if you take a look at this setup here, a lot of the Scotty release clips come with a clip that you can clip to your downrigger cable. I actually don't really enjoy using those. Maybe when I'm double stacking, I'll actually really enjoy those because those will come in handy then. So what I've done is I have a dual snap on my downrigger ball here, a dual snap here, and I just attach my cable to the dual snap and then over to my release clip. So what's happened with this one here, if you can see that, this ball, if it ends up wrapping around when it comes out of the water, it just kinks up over time. So it's time to change out this cable. I really want to change it out. I even have a knot in it right here from having it in my Plano box. I've got a Scotty box that I put all my stuff in and pack it out to my boat and I assemble everything every day. I just don't like leaving anything attached to my boat. So, two things that I have for downrigging that I bought. I keep them in my boat box. I have a little boat box here. And the two things that I use, or I haven't used this yet, this I've bought just for cutting the downrigger cable. If you get into a situation, I really don't want to have to use that because I don't want to leave all the cable in the water. But if you get hung up on the bottom, you need some kind of device so you can cut yourself free. These crimpers obviously have the cutters as well, but I just want the proper cutters just to do the job. That's all I'll ever use them for. They're just an emergency cutters. This here is my tool for what I'm using. Now, I could not find a lot of information on the crimpers to use. These are made by Calcutta. I talked to my local hardware store, Brett at Home Hardware here in Quesnel. It was great. He ordered these in for me. He ordered a whole bunch more in, so there's always some there, which is great because this little tool will allow you to crimp your Scotty stuff together. So without further ado, we'll just see if we can open this up. Crimp it open. What you're going to need to do is cut your cable. Now I just tried with these things, believe it or not, and they're not very good at cutting, so I'm glad I got to try that. I believe when I fixed it, I actually used my fishing pliers. I like to use my fishing pliers for everything. I even use them as bonkers for my fish. So let's try these cable cutters that I didn't think I'd ever cut. And I guess I did cut through her there, so that's good. A little blooper for you guys there. But something to practice, this is good, something to practice before you hit the water. Practice changing your gear, practice using your gear. You should know that gear when you're in the water. Obviously something like this isn't a big deal. I've always got my 3-pound balls with me just in case I lose a ball. I can keep fishing. I always have a backup set of downrigger balls with me just in case. So I've cut this off of my Downrigger ball. I still have my dual snap swivel on here. I do want to make this cable a little bit longer. So what happens is when this is in the water on my Scotty 1085s, I pull it into the boat. I just can't leave it in the boat, so it's kind of a pain. So I'm going to try something different. I'm going to make this a foot longer, foot and a half longer, just to try that out. You can see how this cable itself is really just done. Like, it's just done. That's done. I've got some connectors here to show you. I've also got a stainless steel Downrigger cable, 150 pounds, and see if you can see that. So you can buy this. I've got this at Canadian Tire, and I've got connector sleeves here. These match 150 pounds, so these will go with this cable. But for now, we'll just use this Downrigger cable, make our clips with it. I haven't ever done this before, so we will try it, but I'm just showing you how to fix your cable. Now, what I would do is just simply go and cut your actual cable when you're changing your terminal end. I want them about this long. My arms are fairly short. I'm not a very tall person, so I'll measure that out and I will cut this cable. My cable cutters, I've got a length there. That's kind of how far I want it. Now there's one problem going to happen when I do this. I'll use this as an example, because the extreme example of having a long release clip, if I have this release clip, the release clip is not going to be sitting horizontal when you're fishing. When you're fishing, your Downrigger cable is going to attach to your Downrigger ball, and when you tension up your rod, this release clip's actually going to lift in the water. So you do need to be aware, the longer release clips, if you're going to be using one, you need to adjust your depth on your Downrigger ball depending where you're going to be fishing. Now, if the fish are marking at 30 feet, like we're going chasing kokanee, I put the Downrigger ball at 30 feet. I've got my long release clip. It's up 4 feet. I know that I'm at 26. That's pretty close. Kokanee aren't like depth specific, depending how far back from the ball you are. They will follow up. They will chase stuff up. They will chase stuff down. They're quite a fun fish to fish in the winter time. If you have a chance, check out our videos, ice fishing for kokanee. So, release clips, this is what we're going to quickly do. We're going to try it anyway. 150 pound Scotty Downrigger cable line. What I would recommend if you don't want to go and purchase another spool is just, you should be doing it anyway. Change the terminal end on your Downrigger. I will make another video for that. And cut a couple lengths off your Downrigger cable. Just use that for your release clips. That'll work just as good as well. So with your release clip, I did mention that I've got some Scotty, some little boxes here, some terminal tackle stuff sitting in boxes with me when I'm fishing. I'm going to take the end here. I'll put it through my release clip, making sure it's through all the holes, because this is my little tensioner here on my release clip. This is a tensioner. I want to make sure that's working. Okay, so we'll put one of these on. This is a connector sleeve. We'll put a connector sleeve on the cable itself. Okay. Put it through our release clip. Now when they come, just copy what they do. They come and there's a little bit of wiggle room so this release clip can kind of move around a bit. I'll do the same thing. I don't want it too loose, but I don't want it too tight either. So I want that thing to be able to move around in there. And I will just get my Crimper Pliers, which are amazing, and I will take them. I'll put the end. The end here is quite sharp, so you got to be careful. You don't want to be catching that all the time, so try and hide it. If you feel like it, you can actually add 2 ends on here, and that should work as well. So we'll get the end in there just so it's just sticking out the other end. Okay. Get my crimpers. I will place it in the crimpers. It'll be easier to do it this way. And we'll crimp it down. It's just that simple. Like, it's so simple to change the end, and you can change the ends. You can just cut a little bit off your existing clips if you've got some wear and tear, or this one here you got a little bend. I can just take that, cut that off, and replace it, which is probably what I'll do with this one. Don't need to put a brand new cable on. But I have been wanting to put some really long ones on. These are extremely long. I might actually hate them and decide, no, I gotta go back shorter. But I'm gonna try this way. I can pull my clip into the boat and it can sit there in the boat instead of bounce along in the water and I don't have to reach over the boat too much. So this end here, I'll get another clip, another connector, put through, connector on. Now this one, you can go right snug to your ball. See the end sticking out a little bit. Take my crimpers, make sure it's still sticking out, and crimp it down. There you have it. So that is an extremely long release clip. We will try it. Like I said, I might hate it. I might just cut it off and make it half the distance. But just so you're aware, this will be way in the water. So this is going to be like 4 feet high. It might be way too much, but we're going to give that a go. Put that to the side. Now I'll show you this one really quickly. You have your connector sleeves here. Take one connector sleeve. I'm going to cut the end of that. Now I have the end here. I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to rethread it through. I'm going to put a connector sleeve on and rethread this thing through. They hold pretty well. Okay. Crimpers and on. That's not coming off. So now I've just fixed that one. We've got this monstrosity of a length, which I'm looking at now going, that's just too much. But I'll give it a go. I've been wanting to try this for a year now, so we'll try this out. I'll let you guys know how I like it. That is how you change the ends, chains out, all of this, and we'll show you some more videos later. Thank you.